Then came the role that transformed his career forever. Adam Driver was cast as Kylo Ren in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Suddenly, the actor who had taken an unconventional path from the military to Juilliard and then through smaller acting opportunities was standing at the center of one of the biggest film franchises in history. Millions of people around the world would now see his face, hear his voice, and follow his character's journey. But with enormous opportunity came enormous pressure. Playing a major character in Star Wars meant entering a universe with one of the most passionate fan bases in entertainment history. Every performance would be analyzed, every decision would be debated, and every mistake would be remembered. Driver did not simply treat Kylo Ren as a villain. He brought complexity, conflict, anger, vulnerability, and emotional depth to the character. His performance helped transform Kylo Ren from a mysterious masked figure into a deeply conflicted individual struggling between darkness and light. That complexity made the character memorable and gave Driver the opportunity to demonstrate that he could carry major blockbuster films while still bringing serious dramatic acting to the role. His success with the franchise established him as an international star, but it did not stop him from pursuing more challenging projects. One of the most remarkable things about Driver's career is that he never allowed blockbuster success to become the only definition of his identity. Instead, he continued working with respected filmmakers and choosing roles that demanded something different from him. He appeared in films such as Paterson, Silence, Black-Klansman, Marriage Story, and The Last Duel, demonstrating that he was capable of moving between completely different genres and emotional worlds. His performances showed audiences that the actor behind the famous blockbuster character was much more versatile than they might have expected. His performance in Marriage Story became one of the defining moments of his career. Playing a man experiencing the painful collapse of his marriage required vulnerability, emotional intensity, and extraordinary control. Driver delivered a performance that connected with audiences because it felt deeply human. The character was not simply a hero or a villain. He was flawed, emotional, loving, angry, confused, and vulnerable, all at the same time. Driver's ability to communicate those complicated emotions earned him widespread critical recognition and an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. But perhaps the most inspiring part of Adam Driver's success is that his journey never followed the traditional Hollywood formula. He did not become successful because everything happened perfectly. His story was shaped by uncertainty, a military career, education, rejection, smaller roles, unexpected opportunities, and years of persistence. What makes his story especially powerful is the way he turned being different into being memorable. In an industry where actors are often expected to fit a certain image, Driver built a career by embracing his individuality. His distinctive appearance, intense personality, deep voice, and unusual journey became part of what made audiences remember him. He did not need to look or behave like every other Hollywood star. He simply needed to become the best version of himself. His career also demonstrates an important truth about success: recognition often comes after years of work that nobody notices. Before millions knew Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, there were countless hours of training, rehearsals, auditions, performances, and personal sacrifices. The world saw the breakthrough, but it did not see every step that came before it. That is how success often works. People notice the moment you arrive, but they rarely see the years you spent preparing to be ready when the opportunity finally appeared. Adam Driver's story continues to inspire because it proves that your past does not have to determine your future. A person can change direction, discover a new passion, start again, and eventually build an extraordinary career. The man who once served in the Marines could later stand on some of the world's biggest film sets and become one of the most respected actors of his generation. His journey shows that there is no single timeline for success. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson hidden inside Adam Driver's story: you are not behind just because your journey looks different from everyone else's. Sometimes the longest road creates the strongest person. Sometimes the unexpected chapter becomes the most important one. And sometimes the dream you discover later in life can become the achievement that defines you forever. Adam Driver did not follow the conventional road to Hollywood, and that is exactly why his story is so powerful. He transformed discipline into determination, uncertainty into purpose, and an unconventional beginning into an extraordinary career. From the military to Juilliard, from small roles to global fame, and from television to some of cinema's most challenging performances, his journey is proof that success is not about having a perfect beginning. It is about refusing to stop when the beginning is difficult. His story reminds every dreamer that talent can open a door, but persistence keeps you walking through it. The world may not recognize your potential at first. You may take a different path. You may start later than others. You may face rejection and doubt. But none of those things have to be the end of your story. Adam Driver's life proves that sometimes the most unexpected journey can lead to the most unforgettable success. Adam Driver's rise to fame was not simply a story of getting one big opportunity and becoming successful overnight. Even after becoming recognized around the world, he continued facing the pressure that comes with being a major actor. Every new role brought new expectations, and every performance gave him another opportunity to prove that his success was not accidental. Instead of allowing fame to change his approach, Driver continued treating acting as a craft that required preparation, discipline, and complete commitment. That mindset helped him move beyond the image of Kylo Ren and establish himself as an actor capable of carrying deeply emotional and challenging stories. One of the biggest turning points in his career came through his work with filmmakers who recognized that there was much more to him than his physical presence or his ability to play intense characters. Directors began trusting him with complicated roles that required emotional vulnerability and psychological depth. Driver accepted these challenges without trying to make every character likable. He understood that great acting is often about showing the uncomfortable sides of human nature. His willingness to explore flawed, complicated, and sometimes difficult characters made his performances stand out in an industry where audiences often expect simple heroes and villains. His work in blackkklansman demonstrated another side of his abilities. The film required him to balance serious subject matter with a complex character, and his performance earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. This was another important achievement because it proved that his success was not dependent on a single franchise. He could move into serious cinema, work with respected directors, and compete among some of the industry's most talented performers. His career was becoming bigger than the character that first made him internationally famous. Then came Marriage Story, a film that pushed Driver into even more emotionally demanding territory. The story focused on a relationship falling apart, and Driver had to portray emotions that were raw, painful, and deeply personal. One of the film's most memorable moments became a powerful showcase of his acting ability. Instead of relying on action or spectacle, Driver had to communicate heartbreak through words, silence, body language, and emotion. His performance connected with audiences because it felt painfully real. It demonstrated that an actor's greatest strength is not always being loud or dramatic. Sometimes it is having the courage to show vulnerability. That performance also earned Driver an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor and further established him as one of Hollywood's most respected performers. Before the world knew his name, Adam Driver was not the kind of person anyone would immediately imagine becoming one of Hollywood's most recognizable actors. His journey was filled with uncertainty, discipline, rejection, and moments when his future seemed completely different from the glamorous world of cinema. Born in San Diego, California, Adam Driver grew up with an ordinary childhood, but deep inside him was a desire to discover something bigger. He was not born into Hollywood royalty, he did not have an easy path into acting, and he did not become famous overnight. Instead, his success was built through experiences that shaped his character long before cameras began following him. What makes his story so powerful is that his road to Hollywood was anything but traditional. As a young man, Driver experienced a period of confusion about what direction his life should take. Like many people, he was searching for purpose and trying to understand where he truly belonged. He eventually made a decision that would completely change his future. He joined the United States Marine Corps. That experience demanded discipline, physical strength, mental toughness, and the ability to continue moving forward even when circumstances became difficult. The military taught him lessons that would later become extremely valuable in his acting career. He learned how to remain focused under pressure, how to work with others, and most importantly, how to keep going when things became uncomfortable. These qualities would eventually separate him from many other aspiring actors. After leaving the military, Driver discovered that acting could be more than just an interest, it could become his calling. He began seriously pursuing theater and eventually studied at the prestigious Juilliard School in New York City. For someone who had taken such an unusual path into the arts, entering one of the world's most respected acting institutions was a major achievement. But getting there was only the beginning. At Juilliard, Driver had to prove that he belonged among talented performers who had spent years preparing for professional acting careers. He worked relentlessly, developed his craft, and learned to use his own unique presence as an advantage rather than seeing his unconventional appearance and background as limitations. His early acting career was not built on instant fame. Driver appeared in theater productions and took smaller screen roles, gradually gaining experience and learning how the entertainment industry worked. There were no guarantees that he would become a major star. Hollywood is filled with talented performers who never receive their breakthrough, and Driver understood that success could disappear just as quickly as it appeared.